Mark Hunt is known as one of the toughest fighters of his era. A solid chin, a huge heart, an exciting, explosive fighter with knockout power. He was a danger to anyone, beating fighters like Czech Congo and kickboxing legend. He was also king of the walk-offs. Mark was born in 1974 in South Auckland, New Zealand. Sadly, he suffered severe abuse from his father, an extremely tough childhood, suffering violence along with his siblings.
He get beaten all the time, but not actually beatings like normal beatings. You know, he would hog tie us.
Mark suffers from anxiety and traumas from that childhood, and he has been open about his mental health struggles and the fact that he sees a counsellor, which has greatly benefited him. Mark also had a dislike of bullies and would often help the weaker kids at the school who were victims of bullies.
And, you know, trying to be a positive and productive member of society that helps others, that serves others.
Then on one particular night, Mark's potential as a fighter was noticed by a doorman and fight trainer called Sam Masters.
These guys are kicking the shit out of him in this corridor, so I run to help him. I dropped like maybe 3 or 4 of them, and there was a big rumble. And the bouncer, his name is Sam Masters, he grabbed me and hid me in the toilets, and he became my first trainer.
So Sam, seeing the potential, asked Mark whether he'd like to start training in Thai boxing, which Mark had no idea what that was. So they started training, and within 1 week, Mark had his first fight. He then went on to fight in K1, winning the Oceania title. In 2001, he fought in the K1 World Grand Prix, winning his first fight against Hiromi Amada. He then lost to Ernesto Hoost, who was the reigning champion.
If there's one more, the fight will be over.
Here comes the pain! Here comes Mark Hunt! Here comes Mark Hunt! The Vodafone Arena is exploding! Mark Hunt is on a demolition mission! Mark Hunt can feel it coming! Ernesto Hoost!
Although losing, he was allowed to return to the tournament to replace Mirko Krocop, who had been injured. He was up against fellow Samoan Ray Sefo, and the fight was a classic battle, with both fighters willing to stand and trade punches and take punches with no regard for defence. Sefo won on points, but an eye injury forced him to withdraw from the competition, meaning Mark was back in the competition. He then TKO'd Adam Watt, and he was now in the K1 World Grand Prix finals. Hunt then shocked everybody at the matchmaking by choosing to fight massive power puncher Jerome Labana as his first opponent, because Labana had previously beaten Mark the year before. He then beat Stefan Luku on points, knocking him down twice in the process. And in the final, he beat Brazilian karate champion Francisco Filo to become K1 World Grand Prix champion. Mark started fighting for Japan's Pride Fighting Championship, losing his first fight. He then had wins over Dan Bobish and Vanderlei Silva, with Mark flooring Silva many times in their fight. Hunt lost to Fedor Emelianenko in Pride Shockwave in 2006, although Hunt was effective early on and was able to control Fedor. He lost via Kimura in that fight. UFC took over Pride in 2007, and Mark was involved in arguably 2 of the greatest heavyweight fights that the UFC's ever seen. One against Junior Dos Santos. Dos Santos managed to drop Hunt in round 1, but typically Hunt got straight back up, and Dos Santos' superior speed, movement and jab was a deciding factor, leaving Mark with a badly damaged face, but gamely fighting on until a spinning back kick to the head stopped Mark. To be honest, it was quite hard watching that fight, because I'm not a squeamish person or a soft person by any means, but Mark took a lot of punishment in that fight, was severely busted up, so it was quite a tough one to watch. But that's the fight game. So fought Brock Lesnar, Alistair Overeem, Derek Lewis and many other top fighters. But his last fight was a professional boxing match in 2022 at the age of 48, when he took on unbeaten prospect Sonny Bill Williams. Sonny Bill Williams was 9-0 and put a challenge out, I think, to Mark Hunt, so Mark accepted. Amazingly, Mark won the fight by a 4th round knockout. Mark Hunt, one of the toughest MMA fighters and a legend in the sport. So, who was the one person to knock out Mark Hunt with a punch? After all those leg kicks to the head and the punches to the head, one of the toughest MMA fighters of all got knocked out by Melvin Meinhof in 18 seconds. And the crazy thing about this was Melvin Meinhof was about 3 inches shorter and he weighed 89 kilos compared to Mark's 120 kilos. So there was a 30 kilo weight difference. Mark Hunt charged in, Melvin backing off, caught him with a counter shot and was the only person to ever stop Mark Hunt with punches. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Just want to say thank you to everyone. Please hit the like button, please subscribe if you haven't. I really appreciate that. Please leave a comment and please share as well. Yeah, I really appreciate everything. It means the world to me. The channel's going so well at the moment, and I've got real motivation with my videos at the moment. So I'm really grateful to you all because I couldn't do it without you, and I appreciate all my subscribers. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Thank you.